Welcome to this troubleshooting and maintenance guide for the Getz Equipment Innovators Dry Chemical Fill System. In this video, we will cover the required air sources, common troubleshooting steps, and routine maintenance procedures to ensure your fill system continues to operate at optimal performance. Required air source. Your fill system requires a clean, dry air source. Our recommended air source is nitrogen. However, you may also use an air compressor, but it must provide clean and dry air. If using a compressor, we recommend installing a self-draining moisture filter. Otherwise, moisture in the air supply can cause condensation and shorten the life of the venturi, the on-off switch, and the valve. To achieve maximum vacuum performance, your input air pressure should range between 40 and 65 psi. This varies depending on your console model, either standard or optimum. This style of regulator is incorrect to supply dry air or nitrogen to the control consoles. If using dry air or nitrogen, these regulators are the correct ones. Checking for suction. If you suspect the system is not pulling vacuum, follow these steps. 1. Ensure the jar gasket is in place. 2. Confirm the jar is tightened securely against the gasket. 3. Remove the 1/4-inch vacuum line from the elbow next to the rubber fill cone. Place your thumb over the vacuum line, turn the on-off valve on, and verify that the vacuum gauge rises to 17 to 20 inches of vacuum. If no vacuum is present, continue to step 4. If the control console shows no suction, check vacuum inside the console. Remove the 4 screws in the corners of the cover and open the console. Remove the 1/4-inch yellow tube from the right side of the jar assembly. Place your thumb over the end of the tube and turn the console on. The gauge should again read 18 to 20 inches of vacuum. If there is still no suction, move to the next step. If there is still no suction and your system uses a brass venturi, the venturi must be replaced. Using a 7/16" wrench, remove the 2 brass nuts and remove the venturi. A packed or dirty venturi restricts airflow and causes the system to run slowly. For systems equipped with an optimum venturi, the venturi may be disassembled and cleaned. Using a 7/64" Allen wrench, remove the 3 set screws. Separate the venturi into 2 sections. Clean both sections using brake cleaner and nitrogen. If your system has an elbow on the left side of the jar assembly, it may become plugged with debris. Remove the jar and clear the elbow with nitrogen or dry air. If the system has suction, potential issues include a clog in the fill line, a kinked hose, foreign material in the bottom of the hopper, old, lumpy, or wet chemical, chemical tunneling, lack of chemical. Vent line issues. If you see puffs of chemical or air blowing out of the fill cone during operation, the vent line may be restricted. The venturi may be installed backwards. Check the vent line to ensure it is not bent or restricted. If the venturi was recently installed or replaced, verify its orientation. If you experience continuous dust, Getz offers a vent line filter assembly for a 5-gallon bucket. Chemical tunneling. If chemical is not flowing, possible causes include damp or wet chemical, or compacted chemical. To correct this, loosen the chemical by gently shaking the hopper. Ensure the lid is latched before tilting. If your system includes air injection, you can use nitrogen or dry air to break up chemical. Do not use an air compressor for this, as it will introduce moisture. Always discard any chemical that is wet or damp. Fill cone. For proper chemical flow, the fill cone must be fully inserted into the empty extinguisher to create a vacuum seal. Without a proper seal, the chemical will not flow. A ring bracket can be mounted 22 to 26 inches above the scale to support the fill cone. Maintenance overview. Getz Equipment has designed the dry chemical fill systems to be the most maintenance-free available, and to provide the longest equipment life. Nevertheless, all equipment must be maintained, and simple steps can be taken to assure your fill system continues to operate at optimum performance. To maintain optimum fill system performance, it is recommended to perform the following maintenance: replace the jar filter, hopper filter, and venturi. Note, these recommendations are based on averages, so frequencies may vary depending on number of extinguishers serviced using the dry chemical fill system. Overflow jar maintenance. Never allow the overflow jar to fill more than halfway. If it overfills, chemical can damage the jar filter and migrate into the venturi and on-off valves. Lid filter maintenance. Clean the lid filter once a month. The lid filter contains all the chemical inside of the hopper and is therefore very critical in the operation of the fill system. Chemical can be removed from filter material with a vacuum. Replace the lid filter once per year. Make sure the lid filter has the glazed side out. Proper installation and keeping the lid filter clean are key components to keeping your fill system working properly. Jar filter maintenance. The jar filter has a rubberized seal on the top and bottom of the filter. The seal keeps the chemical from leaking outside of the jar. It is important to clean your jar filter weekly to remove the chemical from the filter. Use compressed air set to no more than 10 to 15 psi. Or use a vacuum. Blow the air from inside out. Replace the jar filter twice per year, or if any chemical is exhausting out the vent line. Discharge hose maintenance. The discharge hose allows a visual look at the type and condition of the chemical coming from the extinguisher. This hose will need to be inspected weekly by squeezing the hose between your fingers for soft spots. Typical hose wear will be within the first 6 inches of the hose past the coupling. The most common wear mark will be a brown burn mark. If you do not have a 45-degree brass elbow, that can be added to extend the life of your hose. Replace the hose if you find burn marks or soft spots in the hose. Remember, if the hose breaks during the discharge process, you will have chemical all over the room or area you are working in. Three-way valve maintenance. Older Getz fill systems have the old-style on-off valve. This valve may become hard to turn because chemical may have gotten into the valve body. If this happens, it will damage the packing of the valve and cause air to leak. The solution is to lubricate the valve. The valve should be cleaned and lubricated every 6 months in order to keep it in proper working condition. You can find the replacement on the Getz Equipment Innovators website. Thank you for watching this troubleshooting and maintenance guide for the Getz Equipment Innovators dry chemical fill system. Do you have a system issue we didn't cover? For additional support or replacement parts, contact Getz Equipment Innovators or visit us at www.getzequipment.com.